Today, we're diving into jaw-dropping events history almost forgot. Prepare for mysteries, shocking twists, and stories hidden in time as we explore a side of the past you never knew. Let's make history unforgettable. Number 20. The Great Emu War of Australia in 1932, Australia faced an unusual threat. Thousands of emus wreaking havoc on farmland. To combat them, the government sent soldiers armed with machine guns to wage war against the birds. Surprisingly, the emus proved a formidable enemy, dodging bullets and outsmarting soldiers in unexpected ways. Despite several attempts, the Emu War ended in defeat, with the emus claiming victory and the soldiers retreating. This bizarre battle left the nation both baffled and humbled, an unlikely testament to the resilience of nature. Number 19. The disappearance of the Sodder children in 1945. On Christmas Eve in Fayetteville, West Virginia, a fire consumed the home of the Sodder family, resulting in the presumed death of 5 of their 10 children. Yet no remains were ever found, leading to a chilling mystery. Years later, the family received a photo of a young man resembling one of the missing children. Rumors swirled about kidnappings and cover-ups, but the truth remains elusive, haunting the family and sparking one of America's most unsettling mysteries. Number 18. The Dancing Plague of 1518. In the summer of 1518, the residents of Strasbourg were gripped by an epidemic of uncontrollable dancing. It began with one woman who danced for days, only to be joined by dozens more, unable to stop until they collapsed. Physicians of the time struggled to explain the cause, suggesting it was a case of hot blood or divine punishment. This strange outbreak left many dead from exhaustion, and its true cause remains debated by historians, adding to its eerie allure. Number 17. Black Saturday, the New Zealand invasion scare. During World War II, fear struck New Zealand when rumors spread of an imminent Japanese invasion. On March 7, 1942, Auckland's residents prepared for the worst, convinced that a fleet of Japanese ships was approaching. Citizens blacked out their windows, hid in basements, and awaited the attack that never came. Known as Black Saturday, this day of terror left its mark on the country, reminding everyone of how fear can spread faster than facts. Number 16. The sinking of the Sultana. While the Titanic's sinking made headlines, the 1865 explosion of the steamboat Sultana was far deadlier but largely forgotten. Packed with recently released Union soldiers, the Sultana was traveling up the Mississippi River when its boiler exploded, killing more than 1,100 people. Faulty repairs and overcrowding contributed to the disaster. But its timing, shortly after Lincoln's assassination, pushed the tragedy out of the spotlight. The Sultana disaster remains one of the deadliest maritime accidents in American history. Number 15. The forgotten New Madrid earthquakes. In 1811 and 1812, a series of massive earthquakes shook the New Madrid region, affecting the Mississippi River Valley and causing the river to flow backward briefly. These quakes were so intense that they reportedly rang church bells as far away as Boston. Despite the destruction, this seismic event often goes overlooked, possibly because it struck an area with sparse population. The New Madrid earthquakes remain some of the most powerful in North American history, a quiet yet earth-shaking moment nearly forgotten. Number 14. The lost island of Bermeja off the coast of Mexico. A mysterious island named Bermeja once appeared on maps, but vanished without a trace in the late 16th century. Early explorers documented its existence, yet modern expeditions have failed to locate it. Some believe it was a mapping error, but others suggest it was deliberately erased to settle border disputes over valuable resources in the Gulf of Mexico. To this day, the legend of Bermeja lingers as a strange case of a land lost to time. Number 13. The White House fire of 1814. In the War of 1812, British forces launched a daring attack on Washington, D.C., setting fire to the White House and other public buildings. President James Madison and First Lady Dolly Madison fled as the British torched the Capitol. Miraculously, a sudden storm extinguished the flames, sparing much of the city from total destruction. This incident marked one of the few times an enemy breached the Capitol, leaving a scar on American history that often goes untold. Number 12. The mass alien abduction claims in Brazil. In 1977, residents of a small Brazilian village reported encounters with a glowing UFO and disturbing alien abductions. Villagers claim to have been injured by a bright, heat-emitting beam that left strange marks on their skin. Brazilian officials launched an investigation called Operation Saucer, but abruptly closed it without explanation. The government has since kept the files sealed, fueling suspicions and conspiracies around this chilling incident of mass hysteria, or perhaps extraterrestrial visits. Number 11. The deadly London beer flood. In 1814, a catastrophic accident at the Meux Brewery in London released over 320,000 gallons of beer into the city streets. A giant vat burst, causing a tidal wave that demolished walls and flooded homes, tragically killing 8 people in the chaos. Dubbed the London beer flood, this freak accident went down as one of the strangest disasters in British history, a surreal reminder that even the most innocuous of beverages can have deadly consequences. Number 10. The eruption that shaped a year in 1815, Mount Tambora erupted in Indonesia, triggering what became known as the Year Without a Summer, due to the volcanic ash blocking sunlight around the globe. Temperatures plummeted, crops failed, and widespread famine struck continents. This cataclysmic event led to some unexpected outcomes, like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, written during a cold, eerie summer. Tambora's eruption is one of the most powerful in recorded history, leaving a mark on weather, culture, and history alike. Number 9. The disappearance of the Ninth Roman Legion. The Ninth Roman Legion, a powerful force in the Roman Empire, vanished without a trace in the 2nd century AD. Sent to suppress rebellions in Britain, the legion seemingly disappeared from records, leading to speculation of its destruction in battle or a mysterious disappearance. Historians still debate its fate, but the vanishing of an entire legion remains one of Rome's most baffling mysteries and a chilling reminder of the lost chapters in military history. Number 8. The Great Molasses Flood in 919. Boston experienced a bizarre and deadly event when a massive storage tank holding over 2 million gallons of molasses burst, flooding the streets with sticky, waist-high waves. The fast-moving molasses destroyed buildings and swept away everything in its path, tragically claiming 21 lives. Known as the Great Molasses Flood, this strange disaster left a sticky legacy, making it one of the oddest industrial accidents in American history. Number 7. The mystery of Oak Island. For over 2 centuries, the island off Nova Scotia known as Oak Island has intrigued treasure hunters. In 1795, locals discovered a pit believed to contain buried treasure. But every attempt to excavate it has met with strange traps, floods, and mysterious finds. Some believe it's pirate treasure, while others think it's a hidden relic. But despite generations of searchers, Oak Island has kept its secrets, leaving only rumors and mysterious artifacts behind. Number 6. The Haunted Tower of London Ravens. According to legend, if the ravens ever leave the Tower of London, the British monarchy will fall. This superstition has led to generations of ravens being cared for at the tower, where they're given the status of official guardians. The birds themselves have become historical icons, each one named and protected by tradition. While it's mostly seen as a legend, the presence of the ravens adds an eerie layer to one of Britain's most famous historical sites. Number 5. The puzzling Voynich manuscript. One of history's most enduring mysteries is the Voynich manuscript, a 15th century book filled with bizarre illustrations and written in an undecipherable language. Discovered in a Jesuit library in 1912, it has puzzled linguists and cryptographers ever since. Some believe it's an ancient code or a medical guide, while others think it might be an elaborate hoax. Despite countless attempts to crack its code, the manuscript's origins and purpose remain an enigma, fueling endless intrigue. Number 4. The Phantom Time Hypothesis. Could we be living in a different year than we think? According to the Phantom Time Hypothesis, proposed by historian Heribert Illig, the years between 614 and 911 AD never happened. They were added to align certain events with political agendas. While this idea is widely disputed, it raises the unsettling possibility of missing time in historical records. If true, it would reshape centuries of history, making us question everything we know about the medieval period. Number 3. The Tichborne Claimant Scandal. In 1866, a man claiming to be the long-lost Sir Roger Tichborne returned to England, seeking inheritance of the Tichborne family fortune. Although he bore little resemblance to Sir Roger, the man gained supporters who believed in his identity. The ensuing legal battle captivated Victorian England, dividing public opinion. DNA testing would later disprove his claim, but the Tichborne claimant remains one of the strangest cases of mistaken identity in British history. Number 2. The Green Children of Woolpit. In medieval England, 2 mysterious children with green skin were found in the village of Woolpit. They spoke an unknown language and ate only green beans. Eventually, they learned English and claimed to come from an underground world where the sun never shined. Historians speculate this story might be a distorted account of isolated migrants, but the Green Children legend endures as a strange tale of the supernatural and the unexplained. Number 1. The Mystery of the Mary Celeste. In 1872, the merchant ship Mary Celeste was found adrift in the Atlantic Ocean without a single soul on board. The ship was in near-perfect condition, with supplies intact, personal belongings undisturbed, and the cargo untouched. The only thing missing was the crew. Despite extensive investigations, no evidence of foul play, piracy, or natural disaster was found. The unexplained disappearance of the Mary Celeste crew remains one of the ocean's greatest mysteries, haunting maritime history to this day. Thanks for joining this epic dive into history's strangest secrets. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more mysteries revealed. Until next time, keep chasing the unknown.